You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. You always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Go ahead and shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine. You shouldn't doubt yourself, 'cause you're worth. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger.
Well, hello. Thank you for joining me this evening, this afternoon, this morning, wherever you're coming in from. My name's Narelle Warcon, and I am coming to you from Mackay, Queensland, Australia. Thank you for joining us once again on Who, What, Where Wednesday. And we have another big topic today, so welcome everyone. Lovely to see you all. Thank you for being here, Saraj and Mayank. Thank you so much. Jean's arrived. Thank you so much, Jean. I really appreciate it. It's nice to have it not so early for you anymore. I'm sure you're enjoying that, even though it has been a big week for you. It certainly has been a big week. And can you believe that the weeks are just scooting on past? Like, I just said to my son yesterday, I said, I can't believe that it's a week since we watched this show, right? I just couldn't believe it, so time is sort of skipping on past. Hi, Sir. Surya Narayan, thank you so much for joining in tonight, this afternoon, probably for you. So what I'm saying is that time is just skipping past, and it seems that each week is going quicker. Maybe our lives are getting a little bit more filled up. Excuse me, the old nervous throat again. Maybe our weeks are getting filled up with more things. Maybe we're, I don't know. I really don't know. If you have the answer, please put it in the chat. Let me know what country you're coming in from. I really do appreciate that. It is flying, Jean. I don't know where it's going. Here it is already, the 19th of March. And it's like, well, hang on a minute. It's already over a month since my birthday, and so like I said, if you have the answers, pop them in the chat for me, because I'd love to read them. Like I said, we're coming to you again on Who, What, Where Wednesday. My name's Narelle Warcon, and our topic today, before we go to the topic, so for all of those who have subscribed, hi Glenda, lovely to see you. Excuse me, let me have a little drink before I go on. Okay. So for all of those who put in their emails, remember, if you go to narellewarcon.com/ready, set, go, and you put your email in, you will have, I believe, yesterday or early this morning, received a lovely email with me on there, and also the link for your 1, 2, and 3 ready, set, go. Parts of what we're doing and moving forward and being prepared. So please let me know if you did receive that email. If you have any concerns whatsoever about that, please let me know here in the chat. If you like it, if you like the actual page that it goes to. Would love your feedback on that. Something that we work together in the background to bring you something that's nice and bright and cheerful, and just with the downloadable notes there. So you will find that it does say coming soon for weeks 4, 5, 6. Today we're on week 6, and I think we've covered a lot. When you have a look back on the topics and maybe going back over them, you will recall things that go, okay, yeah, I remember that now. Because, life is busy, and the thing is, as we move forward, right, and as we do this each week, we start to forget what happened last week. Now, I'm reading the details all the time. I'm sort of researching and bringing about different things. But what I wanted to sort of say to you is, if there's anything within those notes that you want a little bit more explanation on, then please, please, we love Q&A. So I can help you out there in whatever way that I can. I'm connecting from the northeastern USA, PA, and yes, I've got an email. Wow, what a great notes format. Thank you so much, Jean. Appreciate that, because, like I've been saying, we've been working tirelessly in the background, putting this together so that it's not just another piece of paper. It's not just another email. It's not just something, I want it to be of value to you guys. And again, coming to you with those basic steps, okay? These are steps that you can come back to all the time and keep going over them, keep growing. When you grow, those notes will grow with you, because we go as we go on, bringing you new information and update information. It's really important that you remember where you came from and how easy it was, or those step by step, so you might be able to help somebody else as well. If somebody says something, you might be able to go, oh, I read that in the note, I think you could try this. You know what I mean? So, excuse me, that information is really important. So I want to say a big thank you to those jumping on from my Narelle Warcon author Facebook page, and those coming in from LinkedIn. Thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate your time that you take in coming here each week and learning more about Ready, Set, Go and being prepared. Remember that we have our company, which is moving forward. And yes, things take a little time, but we want you to be prepared for anything. Whether it's on passive, whether it's your own business, something that you've had prior to, something that's not online, something that you sell, something that you may have had for a little while and think, you know what, I need to take this to the next level. What is that next level? What can I do? And there's a lot of people out there that can do this. Oh my gosh, Willow, hello. So lovely to see you. There's a lot of people out there that charge a lot of money. Okay, there, and I'm not saying that that's right or wrong. What I'm saying is, if you're starting off, those costs can be unbearable because you're not really at that stage of where you need to be. It's like when Marty talks about marketing. He was a marketer, and we look at it and go, oh my gosh, I don't really know how to market. That's why I came into our company. The thing is, if you can learn some little steps along the way and make it those basics, then it's going to serve you well, as you go into the business, as it goes into, coming out and going live to the world. These basic things are going to serve you so much better. So let's get on with it. Like I said, if you have any questions, Willow, it's an absolute honor to have you here. Thank you so much. I hope that you're doing well. Remember, prayers work, so praying for everybody out there. There's a lot of people sort of feeling not so well, and I want to do a quick one. Before we go ahead, let me do this. I want to do a shout out to Winnie Fonotu. I always get it wrong, and Anna Samu. They are two of our founders who have lost a nephew. It's very, very sad, because he was, look, I won't go into it. It is there on Anna Samu's thing, but his body was found in the Brisbane River over here. So we need to send out prayers of and condolences and heartfelt sympathy to these families right now as they're going through this very sad loss of their nephew. I believe he was around in his 20s. So, yeah, please, any of our people here, please keep the prayers coming. And Rabindra, thank you so much for being here. Anybody else, like I said, is popping on, please pop your name into the chat, where you're coming in from, and let's get going with this next lesson. So today's lesson is about why your connections are really important. Now, again, each lesson will reiterate a little bit from last week, okay, or a couple of weeks ago. And yeah, thank you so much. You know that these things are happening because they're step by step. Sometimes we can't go 3 steps forward. Sometimes we have to go back a little bit to pick up those pieces that we put together in what we're learning. Okay, so I know that might sound a little bit complicated for some, but for others, it is a step by step process, and we are here to help you with those basic processes of stepping forward. So it is really important, and it is really, really important why you need to connect with others. And I've got a few facts here today that I will bring. I'm just going to start firstly here, and then I'm going to bring you a fact which I have on my phone, because I think it's really important how you hi Lids, lovely to see you. How you perceive things to be. We live in our own little world, we live in our own little bubble, and sometimes we don't look out there, or we don't do the research, or we don't look at other bigger countries and things like that. So building strong connections on social media is one of the most powerful ways to grow your presence. Now, we all know that. Now, I know that Facebook, you can only have 5,000 friends, right? After that, you can have a page, which I have my Narelle Warcon author, and I also have a group, which is a on passive group called, OP Oz and New Zealand Oceanic Ambassadors. So have a look at those, please. Go over and like and love, and I do things over on there. But what I'm saying is our connections are important, because we want to make sure that we're not just adding anyone. Okay, there are people out there who are ripping off, cloning. They're scamming people on Facebook, and we have to be very, very careful about what's real. Okay, so you connect with people, and that is a great thing. Do you really know who they are? So whether you're on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, or any other platform, the people you interact with, your audience, fellow creators, and industry professionals, can open doors to new opportunities. Okay, so it's not necessarily about taking you away from what you're already doing, not taking us away from anything that we have coming up with on passive. Okay, what I'm saying is these steps that I'm giving you are going to help you in the future, because you can already start these connections now. We have a few connections, people who come on here, people who see my posts on Facebook, LinkedIn. Also, I haven't done Instagram for a little while, forgive me there. I need to get back to that, but I do also do threads. So, when you're engaged with your audience, it really is important to be real, to be who you are. So thank you, Rabindra. We're very proud of you. Okay, so let's go on. So it can open doors to great opportunities. So remember, there are, and I'll give you this right now because I think it's important that you know this now. So there's 5.4 billion people using social media worldwide. 5.4 billion people with a B. Okay. It's clear that it plays a significant role in shaping the way we communicate and interact with one another. However, not all the information we see online is necessarily true or reliable. Now, that's where you have to be careful, okay? We're building relationships here. We're building personal relationships. We're building business relationships, okay? And this is going to serve you well going into on passive launch, going forward, and things like that. So whatever you're doing in your business, this is going to help you as well. So as of 2024, there are an estimated 5.4 billion social media users, which I just said, representing 62.3% of the global population. And we think communication is something that we're perhaps not good at, perhaps that we don't really know what we're doing around that, or how can we interact with other people. And that's why I'm here to bring you some of those steps. So it really is important that you know that that's a huge amount. 62.3% or 5.4 billion people are interacting worldwide on social medias alone. So just remember that. So how do we engage with our audience? Well, one of the things, and I've spoken about this in previous time, is respond to comments on your videos and posts. So if you haven't yet put up your video and post onto your YouTube, you may still be using Facebook. You may be using LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, any of those to get your message out. Threads is another one. Make sure that you're interacting. You know, people take their time to actually say, hey, I love that, or that's nice, or I really appreciate, or those words really resonated with me. I'm going to share this for you. You know, and when people share it, you're getting out to another open sort of audience of people. So remember that it's really polite and a nice thing to do to actually respond. Hello, Parvat. Thank you so much for joining in. So ask your followers questions, you know, like if you have people that, you know, like your content, start asking them questions. And also I did put a poll up on my OP, Oz and New Zealand Oceanic Ambassadors group, asking something. So you need to go and have a look at that. I'm not going to tell you what the poll is, but I do believe that it is still sitting there current. So if you'd like to go over and have a look at that poll, please reach out. If you don't have the link, just go to OP, Oz, AUS, and NZ, Oceanic Ambassadors, and you'll find me there. So please, if you'd like to do the poll, that would be great. So why does it matter when you engage with somebody? Well, guess what? We didn't know each other in the beginning of this, right? None of us knew each other. And it took a little bit of trust. It took a little bit of sitting back, maybe viewing somebody. When I first heard Willow, you know when you have a attraction, you know when your heart reaches out to somebody else. And from here, I'm talking from a just personal right now, but you just know. When you just know what a person is like. But you still take your time in getting to know that person, because remember, over time, many people have come into your life and maybe left because of reasons, right? Reasons that not necessarily were your fault. You just went in different directions, okay? So just remember that, take your time, engage with people, find out what they like, and remember, it's more about them than it is about you. A lot of people and a lot of you here know about me, and that was part of my story about, my book. Better learn to do the right hand. My book, Blonde Roots, was about me coming out and sharing my story so that it brought hope for other people. Thank you, Parvat. Yes, I know a lot of people love Australia and want to come and visit and see our kangaroos, koalas. We've got beautiful beaches as well. Anyway, besides that, so engage with your audience, right? So the more you engage, the more your audience feels valued. When you guys are putting chats in, when you make comments on my Facebook, when you put a comment on my YouTube videos that I do, my shorts in YouTube, it makes me feel good. You want to feel that way as well. So when somebody comments back, and I do all my own personal commenting on YouTube, and in Facebook, I don't hire anybody to do anything. I do it all personally myself. Sometimes you may just get a like or a love from me, depending on what time of the day or early morning it is. And sometimes I will comment, and when you usually put a comment in YouTube, I absolutely reply to each and every one of you. So thank you so much for putting those comments in for my shorts, for my little videos, and on my lives, because that is so much value. And what it does is it makes me feel good, but I remember who you are. If somebody's not doing anything or in the background and you don't see their name or who they are, then how do you remember that person for who they are? Oh, that was that person, or they come back, or they're there regularly. And that's what engagement is. It's about communicating with each other. It's about finding out a little bit more about somebody else and not just about yourself, but it's also bringing value and, lots of different things that you can expand on when you get to know that person. And some of these people, I'm not going to name anybody because I will miss some. Thank you, Narelle. I am writing. Yeah, thank you so much, Liz. I appreciate that. It's coming, and we will talk a little bit about my second book, not my second Blonde Roots book, but a book that I'm putting together at present. So I want your help with that. So like I said, interaction is really important. Get to know that person. I've got to know some beautiful people, and I can tell you in the beginning, for me, it was about trust, because having come from sexual, physical, mental abuse in my life, the book that I wrote about, my story and things like that, I don't have a lot of trust in people. There was a lot of people in my life that should have been there for me that weren't. And you learn to, I suppose, stand on your own 2 feet. You learn to be courageous. You learn to be tough, So words of all forms of communication are vital in gathering your circles. Absolutely. And you know what? You'll find which ones that you resonate with. You'll find those ones that you're just drawn to, that you want to know more. You just feel like their energy is really good, so you want to be a part of their lives and know a little bit more about them. So, and I'm talking here in every country worldwide. I'm not just talking from Australia, okay? Australia is my country. This is where I live. But have a look around you. When was the last time you actually said hello to your neighbor? Communication is about everything, not just about online. So remember, hello, respect. When you go to the shops, are you saying hello to anybody? Are you greeting anybody? Are you smiling? Are you opening the door? These are all forms of communication. Doesn't necessarily have to be words, okay? Okay, so comment and share. Join other social media groups, something that you're of interest with, and I've spoken about that a few weeks ago. Reach out for potential collaborations. Sometimes somebody's looking for, hey, can we do this together? We have had like say Chris and Marty, they work together and they work well together because they bounce off each other, and they're usually making funny comments. So I've had times when I've had some of you people come on to share your story, and remember that your story is important, and this is a platform that you can come on and share your story. So if you still want to do that, reach out to me. You can send an email to me at info@narellewarcon.com. Or you can reach out to me here in the chat, or leave a message afterwards, or private message me in Facebook. There's so many different ways. I can't go anywhere without one of you being able to contact me. So reach out if you do want to share a little bit more about your life story. Hello, Jalen. Lovely to see you. Thank you so much for your comments, for your support on YouTube. I really appreciate that. So thank you for joining in. Okay, so let's move on. Our creators can introduce you to their audience. So remembering that connections, if you go into a shop and you say to, like with me, I owned a florist shop, okay, quite a few years ago. And a lot of mine wasn't necessarily marketing out there. It was word of mouth, because somebody will say, oh my gosh, go to Westside Florist, which was what my florist was called, and La Blossoms. Go there. Not only will you get a bunch of flowers, you may be asked if you want a cup of coffee or a cup of tea or a sit down and a chat, and you get value for money. Mine was all about, the quality, I just love to give. So I probably didn't do as well as I could have in business, but I still did very well. I want to create some podcasts that will help others to make their words have the power to influence. I love that, Willow. And again, we may be able to collaborate on that, because when you put two people together, like myself here, I have a production manager. We work every week tirelessly on bringing you information. I do my part and he does his part. And the thing is, it works very well together. So, have a look at that. How can people or other people come onto your podcast to be able to bring the information from what they've experienced in their lives. Remember, we all come from different walks of life. We all have different experiences. And even in, say, domestic violence, which I've lived through, everybody's experience is different. So we're, excuse me. So we're all bringing something different from our experiences, and together, collaborated, can be very, very powerful. So, lovely to hear that, Willow. You have the most amazing, um, I think, calming voice. It's just somebody that you want to know. Willow will definitely be the person to look out for that. So, hello, Jeff. Lovely to see you. Hey, everyone, prayers. Yeah, thank you so much for your prayers, everyone. It really is a sad time in some people's lives, and we have to stay strong in ourselves as well to be able to uplift others. So leverage your direct messaging. So I want to give you a fact here, and I don't know whether you know about emails. Okay, now we all receive emails. Sometimes you send an email. You may be in business and you send out emails to your clients, to your customers, and things like that. But did you know it is still the most effective marketing tool on the planet? Now, did you know that? Emails. They've been around forever, right? Sometimes we get scammy emails. Sometimes we join or subscribe to something and we get an email. There's so many things that you can do with email. And over the next couple of weeks, we'll go into that a little bit deeper, because I don't think you realize, the benefits of being able to have that email or have that email list. Now, I don't talk about marketing and building lists and things like that per se, but it is part of where you need to be prepared. Okay, where you can have where the names come from. Who do you know? How many people do you get emails from that could be somebody that could be interested in your business? We need to get it out there. Marty has said just recently, maybe even as early as yesterday, that we need to start getting it out there. We need to start talking. So this preparation period is that important time. Start looking at where you're getting information from. It's not just social media. You have maybe a lot of email connections as well. So send genuine message when reaching out. Not just, hey, or let's collab. Be professional about it. If you're talking about your business, you're not talking about your best mate going down the pub having a beer. You're not talking about, hey, how you doing? Be professional as much as you can. Hello, especially if it's somebody you don't know. Hey, I'm reaching out because I really like what you put together, or the program that you have, or something that you can collaborate with. Doesn't mean you have to. What I'm saying is, if you reach out to that person because you're interested in what they're saying, okay, interested in what they're sharing, you're interested in what they have to sell, as a business and things like that. So, excuse me. Offer some value in return. So I'd love to feature you on my channel. People there's a little bit of jealousy, I suppose, in our world here in Australia sometimes. They call it tall poppy syndrome, where somebody gets too far ahead, or somebody's growing, or somebody doesn't like it. They want to cut you down. They don't want to lift you up. So, have a look at those people who are uplifting. Keep your circle tight in the sense of who's uplifting you when it comes to personal. Now, when it comes to business, you can go and you can view and you can join different social media groups and things like that. If it doesn't feel right, then leave them. Nobody's asking you to stay. And most of these groups are free. Remember that. So you can go and join. Some of them you'll find are private groups. Some of them are open public groups. So you choose what you want, but definitely be having a look at who's doing what that you like and enjoy. Don't just look. I think one of the facts was, just give me a second and see if I can bring this fact up, because I thought this was incredible. Here, people globally dedicate approximately 2 hours and 28 minutes on social media on average. Well, I can tell you that I probably know most of you spend more than 2 hours and 28 minutes a day on social media, because most of the time, if you have big collaborations, if you have, say, private group, or myself personally, then I have a page, then I have a group. You got to catch up. And if you're doing messages and replying and commenting and things like that, it's very time consuming. It takes me longer than 2 hours and 28 minutes, I can tell you that. And I think I used to have an app on my old phone that told me how many hours I spent. And I am not sharing that with anyone. But just let it be known that, what I do here is a lot of videos, and I do spend a lot of time online, bringing about, the research that I do behind this, YouTube and all of those social medias that I do also. So be careful of your time. I understand that, and I make sure that I get up, walk away, do something else completely different to this throughout the whole day. I do not sit at my desk, and I have been known to do that for when a few years ago. But now I just can't do that anymore, and I don't want to. So limit your time, but make sure, if you're going to be just sitting on Facebook scrolling, then why not make it actively good towards you and your business? Okay, so why not reach out to somebody? Why not say hello? Why not say, hey, I like what you do? There's certain groups that I'm in, I just love them, that what they're sharing and things like that. It doesn't take much to say, hi, that's lovely, thank you, that's beautiful, to start that relationship off, okay, to start communicating with people. So you can create your own space. So if you're really interested in reaching out to people, whether it be about online business, AI, machine learning, or a combination of those with our business, or you have something that you really like, a hobby and things like that, you can start your own page on Facebook, and we will go into that in further down the track. I don't want to get too far ahead of everybody, and I hope I'll come back to the chat, but I do hope that those notes have been important. Like I said, you may not have had time to read over them yet, and the little videos that will be coming will definitely be of benefit as well. So I would love your feedback there. It is really important to me, because like I said, I love color and I love creating, and we just want to make sure that everything is something that you're enjoying as well. So I always have to remind myself, it's not always about what I like. And I always say, well, yeah, it is, because I've got to like it. And it feels good to give others a lift. Absolutely. Uplifting others, we need it in today's world. Okay, if you're struggling, you find it hard, you don't know the people to talk to, reach out to any one of those that is in our circle, I suppose, or our OP family. And I'm sure that you will absolutely find somebody. Hey, Marcianne, lovely to see you. You'll find somebody who you can connect with. And it might not be this deep, involved connection straight away, but just reach out to somebody, say, hey, I'm struggling, or I just want somebody to talk to, because this world is becoming non-communication or communicative, meaning that, everything's done in text, everything's done in email. We need to still open up those communication lines. We need to interact, because that's how we are as human beings. I need to interact because I love who you are. I need also, that giving, and I had to learn how to do that, because when you're a giver, you tend to give, and you forget how to receive. One of the things that you learn is how to receive and take on that somebody else is giving you a gift of their time. Okay, time, financial, financial and time freedom are two very important things in life. Okay, so one of the things is being able to spend your time with somebody, whether it be 2 minutes, 5 minutes, half an hour, whatever, but making sure that you are available for them. I have, a busy week. and I do have a funny story to tell you in a minute. But I reach out to those people that usually weekly, something that I want to still interact, and I write myself messages because there's one guy in particular. I won't do the shout out here, but he's a very close friend of mine, just up the road from me, who is a founder. He has not been very well, and I need to reach out to him and make time to connect and really spend time with him. So that will be something that I need to do. So remember, some of our connections are only going to be, they're going to be intermittent, whatever that is. I'm sorry, I'm a bit tired. We're going to have connections where it will just be a little connection. Hi, how you going? Glad that you're well. How's the family? Rah, rah, rah. More family type things. Then you have the closer family and your closer friends. And then you need to spread out. Okay. It's time. The time is now to take charge of where you want your business to go, to where you want to go. Okay. So that's really important. So discover those things, be active, encourage members to support each other. So that's what I'm doing here today. Remember, everything I share with you has been something that I have gone through, lived through, and bringing to you on that basic level, because I know when I started, it wasn't always easy and I didn't always know where to go. And sometimes you can go to YouTube and it becomes overwhelming. Yes, there's everything there, but who, where, why, what are you doing? Like it. So so remember, pop in your email to narellewarcon.com/ready set go or /RSG, and you will receive the written notes, which will also be attached to the videos that I've done each week on being prepared, step by step basics. Okay. Like I said, you have the most wonderful thing, and that is you can have a look at those. You can come each week live and ask questions about, hey, can you explain that a little bit more? Or expand on that a little bit more, or I'm not quite getting that. So you have that right here with you. Okay, a strong community increases loyalty and engagement. People stick around when they feel like they're part of something bigger. So remember, you may not think that you've got anything to share, but there's always something within you, your life, your story, that will resonate with that person over here that thinks that they don't have a story either, but all of a sudden they heard yours and thought, you know what? I do have a story. I do have something to share. I do like this. I do like that. I want to be able to do this. What Narelle is saying, I want to be able to, step up there and do that. The only person holding you back is yourself. Okay. So, thank you, Jean. I don't know about a natural. I just come on. I get nervous. I'm not perfect in any way. I just come on and share because I find it's important. Okay. I find it's important to actually share your knowledge, whether it's a little bit or a lot. And we've got a lot of professionals out there. Thank you, Marcianne. Thank you, Jean. We've got a lot of professionals out there, and sometimes that's not where you need to start. You need to build that trust. Thank you, Siraj. I really appreciate that. You really need to start where your basics are. If you know a little bit and you read some of the notes and you think, oh, I sort of already know that, that's fine. Then skip ahead a little bit. But for those of you on here that have done nothing, or not even started your YouTube, or don't know what to do, those notes in the beginning are going to be very powerful for you. Because one subscriber is better than none. 10 is better than one. And every week I ask you to subscribe to my channel is because of the value that I want to bring to you. I don't make any money from YouTube. Okay, I work hard and tirelessly in the background bringing different videos. Maybe it uplifts you one week. Maybe it's about AI or getting ready. There's all different things that we can communicate and bring to other people. So remember that your story is important, and getting started is hugely important. So that's why um, the connections that you have are really important. Keep them, you know, um, love on them, favor them, work on them. This is what truly works for you moving forward. Don't expect everything to just be done for you. And the why, I didn't quite read that, was a little bit small, but anyway, um, this year for sure I was raised to be a typical people pleaser. The hardest thing about that, Willow, is that now we're working on my personal, yeah. And the thing is, sometimes we realize it late in life, even for myself. Went through all this crap, people pleasing, didn't know why, found out why, wrote my book, wrote my story, shared my story. You know what I mean? Like it is the way that it is. But sometimes it would be nice to go back and go, you know what, I wish I had 20 more years back here where I'd actually been able to spend time on myself or make, that happiness from within, where it didn't have to go through as much as what I did, what you did, in your life. So we can't change the past. We can't live there. We live from today. Today you have the choice to make things your life happy. Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that. Um, yeah, thank you. I really, really appreciate that because, like I said, I put a lot of time into. So I'm just going to keep going because we're getting to time. We're trying to cut these back just a little bit because now that you've got the notes coming and the downloadable notes, like I said, go and pop your email. We're only asking for your email, and you'll get all the previous notes step by step on Ready, Set, Go and being prepared. So the email, sorry, not the email, the link is narellewarcon.com/ready, set, go. Okay, so just on the last couple of things here. So be consistent and authentic. We've spoken about this before again. And remember, each lesson or each learning is going to take a little bit from here and bring it up here. Now I understand, so I can go and get that little bit, or I can bring that forward. So the notes are really important, those step by step that you can have right there in front of you with the video that I have done each week on that subject, on that topic. You'll be able to put them together. And then you can come here and ask questions. Easy peasy, right? So be consistent, be authentic, show up regularly with fresh content, something fresh. It takes a lot to be fresh all the time. Oh, just lost me. Hello? And there we go. Okay, I'm back. So don't know what quite happened there, but anyway, I'm still here. So just showing up is really important, okay? Being authentic is really important. Being consistent is really important. So do something each day. You don't have to put up a video each day, but do something. If it's one day and you say, I'm just going to go and like and love and leave comments for people, then do that for half an hour. Do it for 10 minutes. Whatever time you have, okay, you can make sure that that's of value. Don't just sit there and flick through Facebook unless it's late at night like me sometimes, and it helps me go to sleep. But if you're going to be actively involved in social medias and doing those things and networking with people, and bringing people together to also support yourself, then make sure that you're being active there. So okay, I'm not quite sure what happened there. So if I dropped out, I think I'm still going okay. Um, so show up regularly, fresh content, think about something, have a look at what somebody else is doing and think, well, what can I utilize out of that? Have a look at quotes, have a look at what somebody else is speaking about. What's the current topic of the day? Now, don't get involved in politics or anything like that. Try and keep it lighthearted. Try and keep it positive, okay? You may have your say on political issues or what you think of the world or religious or anything like that, but it really isn't something that I personally do. I think it's better to stay real to who I am. My beliefs are really nobody else's business, and I think if you come from a place of love and come from a place of heart, then you really can't go wrong. Okay, so definitely look at that. I'll also get you're so prepared and professional. Yeah, I'm a night owl. Oh my gosh, it's getting worse. I tell you, soon I'll be on US time, just all the time. I'll sleep when they sleep and be awake when they're awake. So, and that's okay because it just works for me. I don't have anything in particular. Now, I wanted to tell you a little bit of a funny story, but it also has a bit of uh, a nicety about it. My son and I, we have palm trees in our yard. Okay, the palm fronds fall, and you got to collect them. And we have a trailer that we borrow from my sister and her husband. Now the trailer's been sitting here for a little while, and we've just been collecting. And because we had some rain, and we've got a plover sitting in the front yard again. This time she's got 4 chicks that have hatched, and it really is quite crazy at times. You can't mow anywhere near these birds because they attack you if they do. If you go anywhere near them, you go to the letterbox, they're squawking and carrying on. And it's like, why do you build your nest in the middle of our yard? Like I'm sure there's plenty of yards out there. I researched because they're called plovers, okay, and she had just laid eggs prior to Christmas, and now she was back again. So I looked it up and I thought, why does this bird keep coming back? Like I thought they would just lay eggs once a year. That's true, Willow. Um, anyway, I thought, why does this bird keep coming back? So it says that the birds usually only lay their eggs or nest once a year. Now, the thing is, this bird had come back within only a couple of months. She was barely off the nest, had 2 chicks the first time. She laid 3 eggs, but only 2 survived. They were protected, loved, whatever. And then, of course, she's back again. Anyway, we got 4 chicks, in our front yard. So I looked it up and it said that they only nest once a year. However, if they feel safe, they will come back to the same spot and lay more than or nest more than once a year. And it's like, oh my goodness, you're kidding me, right? Because they squawk, they're protecting. Like I say to my son, they're only doing what they know to do. Yeah, and the chicks are just so sweet, and they've got these skinny little long legs. It's really quite incredible. I will put some more pictures up on my Facebook as well, just to share those with you. The thing is, okay, so we're going to the dump because the trailer is full. We've got palm fronds. It's loaded up. We're ready to go. We're halfway to the dump, probably not even quite halfway, and I feel the car. It feels a bit funny. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, I think I might have to pull over here. So, a gentleman, thank you very much to the gentleman who tooted me as he went past me because we actually had a flat tire on the trailer. So trying to pull off the road, wasn't enough room. I had to actually take it, maybe 30 or 40 feet up the road, a little bit longer than that, and pull into a paddock area, right? And there is a reason for me telling you this, because sometimes it's nice to share a little bit about who a person is or what happens in their day. So we had to pull over. So here we are in this paddock type area, which was fine. It was safe and there was trees and stuff like that. But it was drizzly rain, okay? And we're sitting there thinking, okay, what are we going to do? Because my sister was out and her husband was at work. And here we are with a trailer with a flat with no tools in the car, okay? So part of this is you always have to have your tools ready, okay? Because you never know what's going to happen. Now, that's part of it. So we're sitting there thinking, okay, so, tried to ring my brother-in-law, and there was no answer because he was at work. So I left a message. I tried to message my sister for her to ring her husband in case he answered her phone more than what he would me. Anyway, it just so happens while we're sitting there waiting and they're still sorting themselves out, gentleman from across the road comes over. It's an old, sort of little bit rundownish type home. He's quite rough around the edges, okay? And he's walking towards the car. Now, I thought he might be just going into town because we weren't far away from town, just over the bridge. And thank God that the flat tire happened on that part of the road because I had somewhere safe to pull off. because once I'd got into town, there was nowhere that I could have pulled off safely. So it would have been a little bit scary. But again, thank God for that. So anyway, we're pulled over, and this gentleman's walking towards the car, and my son says, "Oh, I think he's coming over. Maybe he's coming over to help us, Mum." And I said, "Oh no, maybe he's just going to town." No, no, no. And you know what? No, I didn't realize this, but my son said it to me today. How respectful this guy was, because I was in the driver's seat, my son was in the passenger seat, and this young gentleman went to my son's side to speak to him. Now, a lot of people would go, "Oh, they don't think women know anything about cars or tires." It wasn't that. My son said, in today's world, the respect that my son saw from this man, was that he came to the man so I didn't feel um, unsafe. I didn't feel, "Oh my gosh, what's this guy coming up to the window for?" Can you understand where I'm coming from? Because I'd like to know if it's just me, or whether it's, you feel that that's a nice, sincere thing to do, that he just came to my son's side and said, "I'm here to give you a hand." Well, he did give us a hand. He went back to his house and he got the right tools. He took the tire off. He thought he had one under his house, which he went back and he brought it back over, and it wasn't quite fitted properly, but we ended up using that just to go back home. We never went to the dump. But what I'm saying is, if you don't give people a chance in life, and you look at them from the outside and start judging who they are, look, some people prove who they are, and they're the people that you don't want to be hanging around. But um, most of the time you want to stay with those people, and like I said, don't make judgments on people. So I want to take you over before we finish off. I know that was just a bit of a long story out of nowhere, but it sort of resonated with me today about, being polite, being courteous. That person, we will go back and we've got to take the tire back to him. And my son's also going to give him $20. We don't like buying alcohol for people, because some people may be, coming out of that type of situation. So I think money would be more beneficial. And that's our thank you, because we don't know what we would have done without his help. And like I said, if you're judged on the outside, which a lot of people do, that would never have been done. Or yeah, so he was just so lovely, honestly. And like I said, raining, and he's down on the ground, and I'm thinking, "Oh my gosh, like, thank you so much." I was so appreciative. So okay, so final thoughts are: your connections on social media aren't just numbers. Remember that. And even in on passive, it's not about the numbers, it's about the connection. Okay, they're real people who can help you grow, learn, and succeed, whether it's through engaging with your audience, collaborating with other creators, or building a strong community. Every interaction matters. Okay, so focus on building relationships, and your social media presence will naturally expand. Okay, now go out there and start making meaningful connections. And I know that most of you do, but you can even step it up a little bit more. Now, what I want to do today, because I've got a few in the chat here: Jean, Willow, Glenda, Lids. I'm putting a book together called Echoes of Wisdom. And the reason why I want to do that is because Jean, suggested, but it had always been sort of in the background, but brought it to the fore again for me to sort of step up and start doing it. So it's about, words of wisdom, echoes of wisdom, quotes, uplifting wordings, and things like that. So I'm putting a little book together, and I've got a couple of book covers that I'd like you to take a look at and vote on for me. Now, this will be a decision made closer to time. And sorry, Jen, what are you saying there? Yeah, so you can see that it's called Echoes of Wisdom. Now, these aren't finalized, these are just what I put together for a quick preview to see which one you like. Um, I'll be bringing a couple to you, and I know that some of you weren't here. I know Jean was away last week visiting with family and a beautiful aunt with her daughter. And so some of them really like the ones on the left. And I just want to see, what your thoughts are and what you can sort of bring to help me with this in the sense of, do you have words of wisdom that you'd like to share? Maybe a picture, maybe just words what I can add into the book with you as well. So it's not necessarily a collaboration, as in you get a whole chapter and things like that. It's just about bringing those positive, kind, caring, loving words where people can look at. Now, many of you may have books like that already, or inspirational books, or the cards and things like that. I sort of get a little bit bored with them. I don't really have them anymore. I had them, earlier in the piece. I have a sister that has them, and many people that I know that do have them. But I'd like to put something together that we can have, that we can share together. So, yeah, thank you, Jean. Thank you for the little bit of a kick in the butt, because it's always been there. But sometimes we just need somebody to go, hey, this is something that you can do. So I love the title too, Willow. It was just something I felt like echoes of wisdom. My life's been about, what I've come through to get where I am today. To me, that's like echoes. I don't know how else to explain it. But anyway, that's what I would like to call it. And I like the fact of, quotes to uplift and inspire, because we need those positivities. We need those people around us. So if you do have a wordings, a quote, if you are quoting from somebody else, please make sure that you put their name to it. We don't like to take away from other people. The paler cover lends more peace. Yeah, I thought that too. The darker one for us lends more intensity. My personal preference is the lighter one. Thank you, Dean. I like your preference. It's funny because a lot of people didn't see the light one. Hey, Nuno, lovely to see you. Hope you're doing well. Some people like the darker one because it was sort of like a mystical, like not fantasy. I'm not a fantasy person, but more of, I suppose, and I'm not into magic per se, but more mystical. Whereas the one on the right for me sort of blends to, and it will have a little bit more wording and stuff like that on there. Like I said, it's just a brief of the book covers, but I do appreciate your positivities, your comments, because it helps me to work out what I want at the end of the day, and it does make a difference. Thank you so much, Willow. You're just too nice. And I love you. And I miss you. And you need to reach out. Reach out to me here so I can get in contact with you and just have a little backwards and forwards chat. So, yes, thank you, Nuno. We're doing very well. As you know, I have been suffering some pain. You may see a little bit in my eyes. I have a bit of a shoulder pain. Anyway, went to a chiro, had a bit of dry needling. It made it twice as bad, if not 3 times as bad. So I'm just starting to get better now. So keep your prayers going for all of those that need them, absolutely 100%. Now, just let me go over my notes. So we've spoken about this week, which the topic was why your connections are really important. Okay. Again, like I said, pop in your email address, and that's all we ask for. If you can pop that link up, it will be narellewarcon.com /RSG or /ready set go. We need you to pop just your email in, just so that you can receive those notes. It's beautiful. I love the setup. I love the page. It's very easy to look at, very easy to understand. And like I said, you can download those notes and you can go step by step. There's my email there, Willow. Willow in particular, info@narellewarcon.com. So if you want to email me at any time, Willow, I would really appreciate just getting in contact with you, darling. Like I said, we will have, and we're moving forward each week. If you have something that you would like me to expand on, if you have a topic that you'd like me to go over, like I said, while we're in that waiting process, thank you. Yeah, absolutely, Willow, always. But please reach out. I'd just love to have a chat with you. Um, So like I said, we'll have a topic each week, but if there's something that you want to talk about, if there's something that you sort of feel like, how about, or can we, and I can include it into one of our Who What Where Wednesdays. If you are still wanting to share your story, please reach out. We're still open to doing those, shining the light, finding the diamond within. And it is really important, because remember, as you set up your YouTube channel, you can then upload your story, right, which was done here, okay, onto your platform, and you've got that lovely little story background, something that people can be interested in, something they can find out about you. Too many, go and have a look at YouTube, and you'll find so many are just, awful. There's nothing, and I'm not saying it's sad. Having your YouTube is fine. Everybody has one, okay? If you have a Google account, you've got a YouTube account. And those videos will be coming, by the way, on how you set that up. But just remember, you need to have something there. Communication is it. Getting ready. Marty talks about it all the time. Okay? Getting ready is really important. How are you preparing for what's coming? Are you prepared? And if you are prepared, that's fantastic. But are you really ready? And that's the thing that we're bringing to you each week, about that readiness. Little bit, little bit, little bit, basics is really good. So, the other thing I wanted to say was, we didn't go over to our website today, and it's too late now. But, do you have a website? Because that's something that I would like to know. If you have a website, how you have it set up, those sort of things. Are you interested in having a look at a website set up? Landing page. Have a look at the landing page that you come into for my notes and things like that. Okay, so that will be another subject down the track, but I'd really like to hear if you do have. Oh, thank you so much, Jalen. I really appreciate that. I love it. Absolutely love it. And I'm not short in coming forward to say that I love it, because I love the colors and I love the changing pictures, and it's just who I am. And I really appreciate that. So, echoes of wisdom, don't forget about that. If you do have something you would like to share of value, some wording, some inspiration, some uplifting words, then send them through to me at info@narellewarcon.com, and that will come through to me at my email address. Leave your details, your email address at narellewarcon.com/ready set go. Okay, and you can find me over on Facebook. I don't actually add personal people anymore. So if you want to join me over there, look for Narelle Warcon author, and certainly like over there. You can reach out to me. You can send me messages there. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate your feedback. So remember, YouTube, please subscribe, like, share, ring the bell for notifications for when I go live. And also on LinkedIn, thank you so much for joining us this evening. I really appreciate your support, and also from Narelle Warcon author. Remember, stay blessed. Keep each other in your thoughts and prayers every moment of every day. There are people out there that are far worse off than ourselves, okay? Come together each week. We're united. Be excited. And stay focused. Absolutely. Like I said, the people who you spend the most time around are the people who you're going to react and, do that. If it's negativity, then that's what you're going to carry through. So take care. Remember, we'll be here next week on Who, What, Where Wednesday with a new topic. And bring your questions and we will have them answered. Have a look at those notes, download them step by step. And if you want to know anything more, then please bring it next week. So I'll just do a couple of shout outs here quickly before I finish off. Nuno, thank you once again. Nuno, where are you coming in from? I just can't remember. I thought you were over Thailand way, but I could be wrong. I don't make many videos. No, what you do is absolutely perfect. So you just keep doing you, okay? I think that, the value that you bring within that is very, very good. And you share out with many people. So you're known and you're seen out there. And that's what counts. You know, you don't have to be doing a lot. You don't have to have millions of followers and things like that for people to know who you are. Okay. Willow, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for jumping in today and reaching out and saying hello. Prayers and love to you and your husband and family. Jean, the same for you. Love to your family, to your daughter. May everything go okay in the next few weeks as she finds out results and things like that. Yeah, thank you, Nuno. Writing a book is like, oh my gosh, you know, it's like they say you never not learn how to ride your bike. You just get back on and just keep pedaling. So yes, thank you, Jean, for that. On the book covers, I appreciate that. Like I said, pop on in, Glenda. Thank you so much, and to Jasmine as well, your daughter. Thank you so much for joining in from South Australia today. Jelen, and also Lids was here. And oh my gosh, the chat's a bit long tonight. But look, I appreciate you all. I'm just going to scroll to the bottom and just make sure there's no others. Portugal, thank you so much, Nuno. I knew it was somewhere else. It wasn't Australia. We do appreciate it. So thank you for coming in. Germany. I'm from Germany, Polish descendants, ancestry. We do appreciate you coming each week. So reach out to those. If you think this is of value, share it out with those. Please make sure that you're not necessarily sharing those notes with anybody, because we'd just like to have your email so that we can send you the notes personally, because that link is personally for each individual. So again, like I said, thank you so much. Blessings to you all. Share something today with somebody and make somebody smile and show them that you love them. So love and blessings to you all. And I shall see you again next week on Who, What, Where Wednesday. Bye for now. Love you.
Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try.